Mayor in the building, or is he still?
He's gone for spring break.
Oh, got it.
So it's just us.
Do we have a quorum? Let's do a
Yep.
quorum. All right.
You guys don't make decisions.
2 out of 3 is.
I guess it doesn't matter.
Right. 32, guess you.
2 out of 3 is a quorum, one's a discussion.
With yourself.
Rick did trees for East Lansing.
City of
Yeah,
Lansing.
and he was one of their tree guys.
He was a tree trimmer, and then he became a mechanic, and then he finally ran the fleet garage.
Okay. Is that there by Costco? That England Street?
Where he worked?
Yeah.
No,
Cause
He-
it seems to me there's a garage there.
he worked
on that.
in the Parks Department. Used to be Oak Park off Shiawassee and I'll say between Shiawassee, Pennsylvania and Cedar Street, right next to the railroad tracks. That was Oak Park. That's Forestry. And then the viaduct where
He was with Lansing or?
City of Lansing.
Okay, City of Lansing. I was
Yep.
thinking.
He was
East
down,
Lansing.
down by the old Jim Beam building.
Oh,
Yeah, that's where
Okay.
public service sits.
Okay. Brooks,
Willoughby, yeah, she's married now, her last name's Brooks.
she got married?
Yeah.
She's only 16.
Did I?
No, actually, she'll be 21 right here.
Bye. She was just here not that long ago.
I remember when she was born and it wasn't that long ago.
I know, me too.
That's great here, and you're heading back in that day. All right, we'll call the meeting to order at 5:30. Roll call. Dedek here,
Yeah,
Leonard here, and the mayor excused. Do you put in for excuse, or how do we do that? You know,
I just put him as absent.
Okay, absent. All right, and no public, so we'll move to approval of last month's minutes. Is there a motion?
I'll approve.
There's a motion. I'll support it. All those in favor say aye.
Right?
Aye, motion passes. Supervisories reports.
All right, we've been pretty busy, springtime has kicked up here. If you guys have a copy of the list in there, what we've been doing. We had a little bit of snow and stuff we had to deal with at the beginning, but luckily that has decided to bypass us now and hopefully stays gone for a while. We continued with some tree work, doing some maintenance. We got some of that done along Grand River at the elbow down there by Culpeppers. We knocked that back quite a ways. We got some more we're gonna do, but. I went around town a little bit with Rick. We looked at some trees. That need our attention. We've got a list started of what we're gonna need, the use of his bucket truck for. Cause ours just won't go high enough
Not
to get
tall,
on it.
tall enough.
Yeah. Addressed an issue that came up through some of the playground equipment. I put a temporary board up there. I did order a climbing rope thing. That's in.
That's here.
Yeah, the thing is in, we just gotta get it up yet, but all the parts and the rope is in.
And that's been like a few months, so right?
What's that?
That issue that's the same one that's been ongoing for
It's the one that just got
last month or the
brought
month
up last
before or
month.
something.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had to find a different style of equipment to go on there and then get it ordered, and it's all here. We just
No other
we
issues
gotta
than
get
that
it.
original
No,
complaint, though, okay.
Not that I've seen.
And that's a quickie, isn't it?
Yeah, we're just gonna have to put a couple plates in and run the rope down and tie it into the ground. So, I mean, it's one of them net things that they climb. We opted to go with the net instead of the climbing wall that was on there. Where did we go?
Moving in the oil. Tree.
Yep, I talked a little bit with the county. They were doing some tree work and course, they're right there with Larry Lee too, and they were doing some trees there, so they went ahead and dropped that tree. We dropped right in Larry's field, and he took some of the wood and the rest of it got disappeared, so that dead eyesore is gone. We was working at the boat launch. We got the caps on the poles. Rick is currently working with one of the guys, supervisors for the lights, trying to get figured out why we can't get them things set right. So he's directly working with them when we're out there.
And those are the solar ones?
Yeah, yeah. Again, working on trees. We did some work out cemetery. We were doing some more work out there. I did hire one seasonal person.
Can we stop and go back to the boat launch?
Yeah,
So is there a glass issue in the parking lot we gotta worry about? And then where are we at with the buffer to the berm?
That was supposed to be reconfigured so it actually did what it was supposed to do.
You know what we're talking about, or,
yep. On page 2 at the very bottom, I've requested
oh,
a cost on the berm kayak launch from Woodhull Construction in Woodbury. I have not got any numbers back from them yet, but they are working on it.
So you got 2 people
Yep,
where's that at?
left.
right, second page, top last.
All right. Okay, there it is. All right, thank you. Just getting ahead of myself.
The glass, there is quite a bit of glass out there, but we have been working on cleaning it up. I mean, I don't
On
know,
broken glass.
just debris from when it was a dump,
Okay.
you know.
Off in the beach.
But yeah, and we have been cleaning. We've been cleaning along that edge line, trying to get some of that out of there, get some of the concrete out of there. We're just trying to clean it up. Make it look.
Yeah, last time I was out there with Jason, we were out there walking around and it was just trash.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, it was a dump. I mean, it's just gonna take us time. to
Well,
clean
and
it up. We're
also
just keeping on it. And
I know that they wanted to retain the naturalness, just looked like shit.
right. So we've
It
been,
was just a bunch of scrub brush crap,
yeah. And so we've been out there working on it, trying to get it cleaned up a little bit.
pulling the dead
Pulling dead stuff out, cutting some of the dead trees.
on TV and keep. doing
Yeah, I mean, anytime you guys want to drive out there and look at it, anytime we've got a free minute, we're out there trying to clean it up and make it look a little bit better, you know, trying to build up the character along the shoreline and we gotta go put some stakes in. We did find the 2 ground stakes that were out there and they're way farther back than what them trailers are. If you go to their driveway, it's like the second pole in, you can see a green mark on the road, that's where the stakes are. I mean,
These are the survey stakes?
yep. Yep, the actual survey
So you're
stakes
saying
go,
They're encroaching on our property, or we're
yes,
encroaching
a
on
lot.
theirs?
They're
lot.
on ours a
Okay.
lot,
10 feet, 15,
probably 10 feet.
the width of one of their trailers. Cause
Yeah.
he had.
I got some
step
orange
trailers.
stakes now that we found them. We're gonna go drive a couple of orange stakes in there, so when you guys drive around, you can see right where the markers are at.
Okay. What about, wouldn't it be? Well, let's get through this and we'll come back to the
Okay.
berm. I wanted to talk more about that, but let's get through your list.
Margaret Willoughby Brooks, she came back for seasonal. She got out and realized that she liked being outside more than being locked in buildings. Began cleaning up the river. I contacted Mike Wood on the area behind the bar.
So can we move back up before will be in seasonal cemeteries? Are we geared up to have those ready to roll by Memorial Day and everything? Cause
Cemeteries?
that's gonna be an
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah.
Clean and spiffy.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of concern over making sure those are done, so we gotta make sure
Yeah,
that's
um,
emphasized.
yep, matter of fact, we're planning for Bob to start back out there next week. We got a bunch of rain coming this week, so And we did start on graves and stuff the other day, start, some of the old debris up on there, so.
We don't want to get any more of the, what do they call it, social media.
I would think,
Statement on social media
would
about
like
how terrible it is.
I would like social media to go away, but that's not gonna happen.
Well, if we're doing everything we can and should, we shouldn't have that. So, yeah. Stand.
Back to the area behind the bars, I talked to
Yeah.
Mike. I have a verbal so far, he's supposed to be sending me one over in writing, estimate, he's looking about $3,000. That's 3 loads of millings. Shaping the millings, shaping down some of the dirt so the water actually rolls to the catch basins. And he thinks we can do it in 3, if not, it'll be $500 for any additional loads, but he's pretty sure. we can-
What's a load?
So
10
that's
yards?
semi-load, trailer load,
10.
whatever.
Gravel
that
train.
is, yeah, gravel train,
So
I
what,
think those are 10 each.
probably.
so we're talking where the deer hole is and everything?
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
And we're putting millings in there
yes.
to make it a parking lot or just fill it?
Fill in the holes, I mean, that's what was requested from the Lions Club.
if you put millings in, they'll stay put.
If we,
So
if we
we're-
slope it off, we put millings in a couple times, and if we don't have the ground shaped for the water to run off, it'll just.
No, you said milling, I'm thinking of a parking lot, but it's not gonna be a parking lot, we're just
It's-
filling in.
It's a road.
It's a road, it's the
Oh,
mill, the
the
millings you've
road.
got, yeah.
I thought you were
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about this, okay,
Behind Brink.
gotcha,
yeah.
that
the-
road
the
going
road-
next to the-
The non-road road,
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay,
Clinton Street that isn't.
correct.
understood, now I'm caught up.
And the object is to do it correct and not have to do it year after year.
And that's why the millings.
Right.
Those,
The
They
millings
should
and-
stay put.
and shaping and,
he's gonna grade that to get rid of the holes that can be seen by satellite.
correct. And then we're gonna, where the grass is what he's gonna shape off so that water actually runs to the catch basins, and then it'll be up to us to put some seed on it.
And there's a catch basin at
There's
either end.
2, one at Brinks and one back behind where Cole's house used to be.
Okay. That sounds like a good plan. And he's gonna be on that. Is this anything that we've gotta do council wise?
I think it should be brought, I think it should be brought up,
Approved.
yeah, cause
It
I
will
mean,
need to be.
I would think so, I mean, you're.
I have it on the council,
Yeah.
once you get it's on there, I'm just waiting for the estimate.
Well, I just had a guy do me a quote today. For far more for far less than what you're talking down there. I'd make a motion, or do we even need to? Motion,
No, it's already on the agenda.
Okay.
Approved.
then we move on.
We'll just make a note that it's gonna be referred to full council for approval.
Yeah,
G-rated.
cool, Pat.
Yeah, as weather's changed, we've been out doing some patching, used up all our stuff we had, went county got some more.
Speaking of which. What's your opinion, feeling or otherwise? About the tarring and feathering of Grand River and other roads?
I know a lot of people don't like it. I personally like it. It gets us 4 or 5 years out of that road that we
But-
wouldn't have.
Have you looked at Grand River?
I have, we're gonna have to do some patching. I had a conversation with Adam on that.
It doesn't look like we did anything but tarred and feathered it, and we've still got cracks, we've still got holes.
Correct, and that you. I
And
mean,
that
you-
is
we didn't
supposed to
put
seal it to keep the water from going in and causing.
More holes, correct.
Right.
And there is tar in them holes. It makes me mad that they swept it off before they tarred it. And they should have just tarred over the stones, but.
And I don't, how much was that, cost wise?
I don't know. numbers in front of me, that would be
And
different.
it went from West Street to
It went from Wood Hall to Grand River, or to Meridian Road,
Woodhull to Meridian,
yes.
didn't go up here.
No,
Okay.
it started right here and went to
Okay.
Meridian.
I don't know, I look at it with disgust, I think it was,
Can you get us the cost by the meeting?
Yeah, Denell will have it.
So what's it called, sealing?
it's
Chip and fog.
chipping, yeah,
Chip.
tar and feather. I just personally feel that yeah, I understand the concept,
I-
but what they didn't do a thing for us. Except take our money. And then to have C2AE take even a little bit more. There's not a whole lot of engineering that's involved in tar and feather. And
I'm not gonna say they didn't do anything for us, cause we would have been doing a ton of passing out there with this winter if we hadn't have done that. I mean, they did fill in some holes that were starting to become a problem.
I think they're a little short on the tar part. To really fill cracks and have it last. It's supposed to last 5 years, 4 years,
4 to 5.
3,
Yeah, 4 to 5.
not just 6 months.
So you say as whether as a lot of coal patching will continue, will that be enough to complete the city or just you're filling voids as we have time? That you can go through and make sure all the potholes.
No, we go through and hit all of them that we know of. We go up and down the road.
So the city will be
Yeah,
done
yeah.
after
Yeah,
you're done with this
we've
process.
already done the whole town once and now we'll do it again.
It's always ongoing.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
after that, every time we get a thunderstorm, new holes pop up, so. Um,
Baseball, softball.
yeah, Mayor Beavers and Councilman Frank and I met with the baseball, softball organizations.
I missed that. I was gonna go and I forgot.
Um,
So how did that turn out?
for the most part, it was actually a pretty good meeting for our point of view. I mean, Greg and Jody both made it known to them that they need to learn to work together. They don't want us to have to be the ones to make the decision for them, so. They seem to be in agreement with that. They was working on some stuff when we left. They got into their stuff and our part was over, so we wandered out.
So we're still liable for like the parking lots and stuff. Do we need to do anything with gravel or any?
The potholes or ponds in those lots and drives
Not too bad. I mean, there is a few in
in the drive
the
around.
drive,
part
but we
two.
graded that a couple times already. We just.
Then
had
you've
to
got
stay
the
ahead of
parking
it.
lot to the west.
Yeah, off Meridian Road. We put millings in Meridian Road a couple of years ago. We might just have to spruce that up a little bit. It's not too
The
bad.
DPA meeting was canceled.
Oh, it was.
And they did,
It's the 8th
Okay,
at 6.
marked out a
Okay.
field for us
thanks.
Yep.
where the little ones are playing, so we can get that sprayed.
Should we look at maybe looking at that 3,000 and expanding that and maybe drop some millings into those parking lots?
We'll get his 500 per load and dump it out there.
I will talk to him, but I'm thinking it will be cheaper for us at that point just to get with him and haul it 5 yards at a time
Or
with our truck.
haul it
We're not
here.
going that far, so then I'm not paying his fuel.
No, that's what I'm asking. Is I just want your opinion. So
Yeah, I don't have any on standby, so if I need to put some.
I
I'll
know it's
get it.
cheaper doing it as a group, you know, if we're gonna do this, let's do it, make it bigger.
But I think with millings, most of it is the hauling.
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
Last I bought millings, it was $13 a ton.
Yeah, something like that.
And a ton would, I think, what's the truck, 5 yard?
5 yard.
That'd be a couple $100 to fill.
Yeah, and
That's right.
it'd just be cheaper for us to use our truck and
Yep.
get it when we need it. And I did talk to him about doing that, so. We opened the water and stuff at the parks today. That's running. The fountains are not on yet. I have to do the spring sampling, through the county before.
Make sure it's safe.
Before we can open the spigots, but I was able to get the actual restrooms and stuff turned on.
And are we still on track to do something with the floors at,
That's
Base
over
Scout?
Yes,
or is it Base
that's
Scout or is it?
over here.
Clinton.
Bay Scouts
Clinton.
tiled,
Clinton?
yeah.
That's gonna happen by spring or?
No, that's after budget, that's for next year's budget.
Next year's.
The Porta Johns will be here this week for the boat ramp and for the cemetery. The one at the kayak launch is a little more expensive than the other one, because that one's gotta be 88, so. And of course, you throw that load in there and they charge you more, so. Spring cleanups begin, mainly, we'll definitely be picking up brush and leaves and stuff Monday and Tuesday, and then the rest of the week as we see it, but. And then the girls are gonna put in the newsletter going out this summer that there will be I'll have a schedule set up for leaf pickup for the fall route, so they have an idea of where we're at when we're there.
And do we have a routine set up for the trash cans and cleaning up around those common areas like benches and all of that stuff that's where the trash cans sit, that they're not just emptying the bag, they're cleaning?
Around.
Yes, I did have that conversation earlier, because they emptied trash the other day, and then I went around and picked some stuff up, so. That was brought up and discussed.
And
What,
I would like you to stress to people that are working for us that consider it your own yard
right,
or your own. Don't do it to go through the motions, do it to do the job.
right,
These are things that is inside of everybody. And it matters.
yeah, it's what first thing people see.
And we're gonna start doing these checks on people and making them clean their yards up and yada, yada, yada.
Right,
And well, it applies to us too. And I think it's important. Yeah, I can go on, let's keep moving.
We've been working on maintenance on the mowers. We continued on that. We got just a couple more things to do, and they're ready for the season. Was working with Danelle a little bit on the budget list stuff.
Are you gonna be providing us that to know what you're asking for?
It's basically the stuff we'd already went over, the mower,
Well,
that's the last I met with her. She's been pretty
All of the
tight.
new products.
Yeah.
Stuff will be on the CIP.
and in the meantime, covering the CIP. There isn't any money in there for this Kubota. I made a motion at the last meeting about getting the Kubota. Yeah, motion made by Leonard. I'd like to. Oh, by Beaver, seconded by Leonard. I think that we should put that on hold until we've got the money to pay for it. I don't want to see it just as an emergency. The CIP needs to be. We need to get a handle on that, and there is no money in there to speak of. $3,500 in the CIP for DPW. We need the budget to, part of the budget for DPW is money going into that CIP to pay for the replacement of the current dump truck and the current backhoe and the current equipment. As it depreciates, you pay in to match that depreciation. So when we need to buy the equipment, there's the money and we buy it. And that has not been done for quite some time And the pile of money is depleted to nothing.
So can we? I guess. Yeah,
The CIP will be on the council. And the
for this next meeting,
Yeah, the planning commission has went through and put priorities years on it, which is their job to do. And it comes to the council to look at and find out where the money comes.
is that the appropriate venue that we had addressed, like with
Yeah.
Danell saying, this is
Yeah.
what we want to see, and this is how we want to do it.
So Dave filled out applications for what he wants to be put on CIP. We put those on there. And then it went to the planning commission. They decide, well, this is where we think we should buy it between 26 and 30, where it lands. They prioritize it and it comes to council, and council says, yep, we agree with this. Now we gotta put money towards it. How much and how soon, and if you wanna move the priority, you can. But planning commission spent an hour looking at it, putting it in where they think the necessities are, and that's their job to do that.
Prioritizing.
Yeah,
So
Jason and Danell have spent time doing a asset training through MML and have been quite enlightened.
mhm.
you'll get a spreadsheet that will have all of it.
The
Plus
way we're going at it is a
regular
good way to
CIP.
go broke. And I think that just a little bit that I talked to Jason, I think we need to just hit the brakes for a minute and regroup and figure out our money situation better, get a better handle on it than we have. I'm still not comfortable with it and I'm on finance.
So what, like this is gonna be presented to us and we have a yes or a no vote, or is there?
No, it's gonna,
I think
you're gonna need to discuss it, you're
discussion.
gonna have to, yeah, you're gonna have
okay.
to figure out, how much money you're gonna put towards, see, like. I mean, when they first implemented the CIP, it was when we got RRC certified, you have to have a CIP. So it was first implemented, it was done the original way, which is pretty extensive. And then, which I think is where most of all the projects came for, and then we just kept putting and doing what we were supposed to. We didn't add too much to it, which probably should have been done, like replacing the John Deere. That should have been on there a long time ago, it just didn't get put on.
Right.
the CIP, but literally everything that Dave's bought the last 2 years was on the CIP. So that part we did have all
actually-
that money.
I think did a pretty good job with it because you were able to buy a truck from the county. That's a pretty good truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there was a couple things
So
that
you've
were
got the
under
equipment
budget.
without paying the new price and getting stuff that will work for us.
Right.
Fine.
So it was like the last, I think, probably 5 years that they just kept leaving the CIP the same, instead of adding some stuff to it and kind of, making sure that things, so kind of that's where we're at right now. Where his is depleted because he
Used
actually spent what we put aside for it, so,
Okay.
I mean, we
Right,
were.
I actually went
technically, it's just-
through and did that paper that I give you guys, they had the breakdowns of the equipment, the age, and stuff that just not been replaced for such a long.
And
period.
there's stuff on there, and every year, like say, there's something that we want, but it's still not necessary, we put 2030 on it.
Onto it.
Right, we put 2030 on it, we get to 2030. Do we still need it? Is it something? Nope, we can add 2 more years on it. So every year you redo that whole list and say, what are the priorities now? Is this now we have to have something because it's broke down? We can't fix it anymore, so now we gotta move it up, or we're gonna push it back. But you wanna stay within a 6-year period,
It's-
because that, you don't wanna go too far out. You just keep moving it. You
With
keep
a
prioritizing
6-year
it.
period and an annual.
Annual
reset.
review, yes, every year it's supposed to go to the planning commission to be reviewed, to be prioritized. Any new projects need to be put on. So like, when he does get that Kubota, a year after he gets it. Put it
More
on the
money goes
CIP,
in,
and then you just keep pushing it every 6 years till he needs the new
because
one.
the Kubota will go on a depreciation
Yep.
schedule.
Yep,
And whatever that number is, that's how much you shove into the CIP.
Right,
And you do that through the budgeting process.
Yeah,
And
That's
so-
my question is more process than what you're doing.
yeah, I mean.
And not like you keep saying they put it all together, so I guess I got a choice, yes or no, or can we adjust it?
it's
So
adjusted.
what's gonna come to you at the council this month is approving what the planning commission did, which was strictly prioritized. Not money, nothing like that. The planning commission just put where they think priority is, what year it should be
This
done.
item,
And then you guys can approve that, and then you're gonna have to kind of wait for the budget. To say, okay, now we need to do this, this, and this, we wanna put this money towards this, and find the money. And how much you wanna put towards each thing.
and I like to see a budget that is not done by the state of Michigan, but by.
Here,
Because you just can't. I've been at it and, yeah, I get it, but I can't just. Give me a number for this. You gotta spend a day at it.
Mhm.
No. It needs a rework that is more layman centered. I don't think any of us be professional accountants.
I can give you all my election stuff, so you can figure it out.
Well, and the other side is that. You and Danelle are,
Doing it every day.
and you're new at it though.
Yeah.
I mean, you're only,
Yes, yeah, we're
what,
still.
three
yeah.
years in, maybe
Two, not even two, yeah.
so, yeah, I think we're all sitting in the same bin learning. And,
We just get. to
Picking
look
it
at
up and-
Cool.
and that's why I say on the Kubota. Yeah, I think we do need it. Is it an absolute priority? Do we need to come up with 50 grand this year? Next year? To get it, I don't think we should. At least today, with what I know today. Now, maybe in 6 months, things will look a little rosier and so, I think that this should be. And I don't know if it even matters. Did this motion by Beaver, second by Leonard for the new Kubota, did that ever hit council?
no.
Okay. So it doesn't really matter, does it? Good. All right, we'll just ignore it then. Pretend we never saw that.
So construction,
Okay.
Woodhull Construction and Dan Woodbury.
Yeah, that was for the kayak launch, berm, getting prices and redoing that.
That's just in the process of getting prices.
Yeah,
Did that include options? How did you tell them, what did you tell them that they needed to do?
make it so it was mobile, a little bit taller, a little bit longer, block the lights or whatever from getting to. Basically, I wanted it
What
around
about,
where the trailer was to.
well, keep referring to my project, but it kind of fits. I'm gonna put boxwood all along my south line, the full length of it. About 700 feet. Boxwood is not deciduous, it's an evergreen, but it's a leaf. And they're shapeable. Fairly quick growing, I think within 3 years we'd have. But if those went along the top of that berm and even the entire line. That'd give us a fence that everybody would like. And we wouldn't have to maintain it other than maybe to trim it back. You can do whatever you want with it. You know, get out from the machete and
Our conversation was along the
Moving
lines, same
dirt.
line. Well,
Oh.
that, and we talked about pine trees. something that had tree bases all in the ground.
But they grow
Yeah,
up,
so don't lose leaves, don't.
but the pine trees grow up. And those branches die out. And then you end up, and now you've got a hole through. Where I think the boxwood would give
I'll
a
have to-
fuller,
I don't know much about boxwood. I'll have to-
well, I've studied up. Because for years I've wanted and finally,
They're like more like a bush.
yeah. But. Looks like a hedge.
Yeah.
Like they put
I got them
over
on my.
limey land,
Yeah, I'd say it's like
Like
a
I-
Between
fire,
me and the
fire
area.
bush or something, yeah.
and it's not deciduous though. It won't lose its leaf. It stays that way year round.
So like that,
You can make it look like that.
so they're more like a bush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Scott said,
And you
Scott said he's got him, I know what he's talking about.
You can
Yeah.
shape them if you want to, or you can just let them be.
Mine are come up on 6 feet right now.
How long they've been in?
I forget how long I've lived, but probably 10 years, 15, 20, I don't know. But I trim them back too.
Yeah,
But I still let them, they've been getting bigger.
and 6 foot on top of that berm,
Right,
if they. I'd like
So
them
these
to
are,
see
yeah, I.
them do something with the berm, so it's easier for you to
Huh.
mow.
yeah,
That you don't have to go out there with batwing to mow it. You can just do it with the regular mowers if they can shape it. All, I don't.
Yeah.
You guys will figure it out, and then we'll bitch about it after the.
On the
Thumbs up, I think.
lagoons.
And then we started the cleanup there on Crescent Drive where the storm drain went in.
Oh.
We started working on that.
There you go, right.
Lagoons, we did,
Oh, Crescent is looking glad?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. We did one discharge already this season. We're now currently moving water over to do a second discharge. We're hoping to get 3 of them out
Everything
this spring season.
good
Everything's,
with the
Yeah, everything's-
flooding and the rain and
no,
everything.
everything's within numbers right now. We discharge spring and fall when the water tables are the highest, cause, it looks a little bit better, so. So that's a go. We're working on some cleanup out there. We was filling some muskrat holes in, which is an ongoing project out there.
they're typically on the outside. Or they,
The muskrats,
yeah,
they're right on the top of the berm and dig in until they hit water and build a nest in there
because they can,
because they
they've
can.
got all day,
Yeah.
every day,
Yeah,
nothing else to do.
and we've got some old concrete bags that were hard, so we was filling in some holes and. The DNR guy that was out here last year told us to get rid of them. I don't wanna know how, just get rid of them. So we've been introducing them to some not friendly things. Rick and I took a refresher. Rick took his first time class on Paisley rating, so he's certified as well as I am now to.
And
rate the
explain to
roads.
me what that is.
It's our
Road
road
rating.
rating. We have to go through every year and rate the roads. It's a 1 to 10 phaser scale
You
that
give it a grade,
tells us what shape our roads are in.
Oh.
so that you can prioritize. Who needs it worse,
Yeah, but
back
you,
to CIP.
yeah, but you have to take a 2-day class or 3-day class, I guess it was, to be certified to do it.
Something they teach at MIT or. in
Yeah,
Michigan Tech.
Michigan Tech. And then we got down here to our summer goals. I've been working on and implementing the bathroom. We had a checklist. I didn't like it. I'm redoing it a little bit to be a little bit more specific on what I want to see done in there. We're still working on hiring a full-time employee. We'd like to get a couple more seasonal ones hired before the summer season starts. They just reposted that.
How many mowers do we have? 4?
We have the cemetery mower, the 2 0 turns, and then we have one backup 72. That's a 2005 hopper. We don't run that unless we absolutely have to. And then we have the old cemetery mower that we use for doing like Roosevelt Road and around the new pocket park stuff and
That's
simplicity
Was it-
zero turn.
oh, it is zero.
Yeah, they're all zero turns. The only one we got that's not zero turn is that 1145, which we have a debt for, we just don't use them.
And you've got the
Oh,
Dewey.
yeah, for Dewey's. the
That's
Dewey
pretty much
flow.
just for the
Yeah.
ditches and the,
Ditches and slopes, and we'll
Yeah.
probably run it at the boat launch till we get that. Once
Cleaned
everything
up.
is cleaned up and more grass and everything, then.
that is
And it is
more
like that.
tolerant of abuse.
Yes, that has, that mower has brush hog blades on it.
Okay. Are they the flail type?
Yeah, they're the breakaway.
Okay. Okay.
And I didn't first tell you that I put the job posting on the NAMC
Oh,
website and Facebook page. And Janelle's gonna put it on her treasury Facebook page.
okay.
Those are both free, so I'm like, it's only clerks, but maybe they know somebody.
So we've been plugging away. I don't know if you've been home yet tonight or been down your road. We got that pad cleaned up a little bit, got that bench set, so now we just gotta get the one. back
Yeah,
here
I've seen
done.
that one. I
Finally
thought it's
got-
been there a
finally-
while, but
finally-
apparently came into it.
Finally got the brackets, finally came in, so we got that set and.
So
now we
you're
just gotta
setting
get-
the lines benches?
That one's out. The other one, we just gotta
Okay.
get the pad poured and that one will be set, so.
So. Just to be clear, you're still looking at a full timer and 2 seasonals, and you think that is enough staff to meet expectations of council? On mowing, weed whipping, cemeteries, parks, everything we have.
It's a learning curve. I think so. I mean, I went over what we had last year, people wise, and this will add me 2 more people for the summer, and I think that'll give me a good rotation.
They wouldn't be all on at all times.
That's what I'm trying to I wrote that
Yeah, I
in, so I
saw
can
the
rotate
burnout.
out, so I
Yeah.
don't have one guy at the cemetery every day for an entire season, so.
Just because that's gonna be a concern for you.
It is, and I mean, but like I said, it's a learning process, and this is 2 more people than I had last year, so
Okay.
I'm hoping that, that we're going in the right direction with it, so.
No, I just want to make sure that,
Yeah, and if
understand
it
what's
comes,
coming, 'cause it's
right,
gonna-
if
we're
it comes to
gonna be
a
a
point where
bigger pain in
I
your
don't
butt
think
than
we're
you've
able
had in a
to
long
keep up
time.
with what we'll have, then I'll definitely bring it to you and say,
Okay.
we need to rethink this, so.
So I think that takes us through there. I just had a few things. Are we doing anything with the property between the dance studio and the car wash?
There has been discussion on we had a split rail fence that we had bought to put up at Abbott and Street that we don't have anymore. And we have the fence, so there's been a discussion of making that a defined parking spot and putting a fence through there so that they'll get.
Between the parking and
Where,
the
where they're
car
okay to
wash.
drive in the car wash, cause so they'll quit driving up the
be-
yard. area.
And what about millings there?
I mean, are you talking making that a parking lot?
Well,
No.
people are
No,
using
they're
it.
using it. We're
We're
talking
using
about
it.
You're gonna,
leaving it so the
Not
cars can
let
still
it be a
park
parking
and then
lot.
make it so we can mow it.
okay, that's where you're talking about millings putting it.
Yeah, and I was thinking, they're using it and turning it into a mud hole.
It's against her. We're against it. And our zoning.
I was gonna say, I thought there was something in zoning that was.
It's gotta
talked
be
about.
paid.
And it's property that we own. We don't need it for another parking lot. We don't want to pay for another parking lot.
And.
Cause I think it had to be engineered with water drain off and.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Just.
Went on and on,
Yeah. And that's where we thought we have the fence, we can just fence off where they were parking and let the rest go back to grass and we can mow
So,
it.
I mean.
I mean, cause I
Somebody would
don't,
develop it, that'd be great.
I don't wanna block it all off, because if we blocked off where the property was, they literally would have room to park 6 cars. I mean,
yeah,
Which there is parking, there is street parking. They are parking there, but there is plenty of street parking they have.
Along the
But-
corridor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but what,
and
what
the-
they're tearing up is instead of backing out and going to Lane Street, they're just going across the yard.
But there is plenty of parking. If you go down there anytime and all those cars are back there, there's plenty of parking. Down,
Grand River,
Roosevelt. Road.
Roosevelt Road.
oh,
Okay.
but you've gotta walk so far.
Oh my gosh, I know. Trust me.
Down
In a Walmart
Scott,
parking
Scott walks 10 miles a day.
I just don't want to park and walk.
Walmart, it's not a problem walking
I know.
Right.
400 yards.
A parking lot.
Yeah.
I know.
Um, I've always scratched my head.
So that's where our thought process was on
Okay.
that. We're gonna go to like where the end of that guide wire comes down off that pole and just run it straight down and then they will still have
block
spots
off
to
the
park and the rest of it we
Two
can
entryways
clean up the most, so.
cause it's a minor.
Get rid of the ruts and
Mhm.
smooth it out and grass it.
Yep.
And so CIP thoughts or requests, thinking over here, should I already be in or when is our? Like, say I have an idea,
Oh, then you can bring it up at council.
just,
When, yeah,
but it would be this coming council.
Yeah,
next
and
month that we need
if-
to have it in?
No.
it needs to be over $5,000. Go on, see, here.
Okay,
So, and I mean, we have an application sheet that I can email you. That, any council member can fill out this application and then if you put it on to yeah.
okay. And then just going through my list of little bit of stuff. Parking lot. Punch list, are we done? Engineer wise of the parking lot and the boat launch, are they totally out of it?
I think.
Are we closed? I mean, is
I
it
think-
sealed?
Think so. Wasn't she working on getting the finalization on grant stuff?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the parking lot, I believe, is completed. The boat launch, I think there might be one
We
checkout,
could
but I'm not sure.
bring up something about the access ADA.
That's why I was wondering, is the
Yeah.
punch list still open, or
We-
are they done and now we have to do our own shit,
Yeah,
stuff, I'm sorry.
and I
I understood.
we talked a little bit about it. And you're talking about on Woodhull, like having a space to walk out.
Yes,
what-
so if somebody, they don't have to go up to the school, let's say they're disabled, they don't have to go up to school to get to the ramp, go all the way around and come all the way back. They should have access, I mean, it's partly our parking lot.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to go downtown to go to the school to do that. That makes
Or
sense?
go to the school.
Oh, you
and
mean go to school to
downtown.
go downtown?
Yeah,
Man,
'cause that's it's either that or you gotta go out the entry of where cars are coming in.
Right,
And I think
yeah.
we need to put
And-
some type of access for those folks.
that would be on us. You know,
And
I mean, unless you can
why
convince the school to help pay for it.
C2A, we spent thousands and thousands and thousands,
C2A did not do that design, the schools.
that was.
but
Did
they
that.
let it keep going.
Yeah, but they did
And
not
we
do
paid
it, and they
them.
warned us at the beginning, we don't normally do this, take over somebody's designs. And it went to council many times, their designs, and. I mean, for me. I just don't. I mean, the handicap parkings are over by the school. So, I don't know, I mean, to me,
I mean,
it's
it works
like,
good for the school. I just look at it as a citizen pulls in there and the only way they can get out of that parking lot, say in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Is to go to the school and then turn, when they should be easily accessible to hit downtown.
right, I guess, yes, that's true.
So
Or-
that's,
But
Or go up the
most,
drive. because
most.
I went over
we-
there and looked. and
We have
if
handicap all the way
any
through
ADA
town though.
I mean, we're gonna lose a parking spot.
parking space.
anyway.
Yes, and we have handicap all the way through town, downtown. Parking, and,
That they
I mean,
Should, would.
we have more than enough, more than required. Handicap parking downtown. So if they were. Going somewhere downtown,
If they're
they would
down
probably
here,
park in a
fine.
handicap parking that's downtown.
arguably.
I'm just not sure it's a project that we wanna, it's gonna probably cost me,
Oh,
and
I bet you'd spend 10-15 grand.
yeah, at least. And.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably before you broke ground.
Well,
because that's
that
another
should be
goal.
C2A, though.
Well, you're gonna pay any engineer. It's not cheap engineers, it's like there's not cheap doctors or. They don't have discounts.
no, and again, not. Dropping the ball, cause I wasn't here when I was playing,
Right,
I am now, but I'm like. I just wanna make sure that don't happen while I'm here.
Yeah,
So I don't know how
Yeah, I mean,
why the other council didn't know to say, okay, they should be accessible from all sides to whatever, that's here nor there, I'm just saying. I just don't want it dropped in my lap saying, well, I did something like that, I want to make sure that it's done right. I would expect it, and again, I don't know all the nuances of what C2, whatever did with the school and how they did it, but I would expected them to come back and say, oh, by the way, you don't have this, you should. But again, they weren't totally in charge of it, so I don't get any of that, but.
but they were at that point. At the
Well-
point where they were brought in, now they're in charge. I perceive.
but I look at it as, somebody who's gonna park there that's handicapped is gonna have options. I mean, you don't go up here and park if you're handicapped, if there's handicap
you're-
downtown.
And if you wanna be in
Right, if
town,
you're going that way.
yeah,
You're probably not.
No,
gonna
I
park
get it.
up
I'm
there.
looking at like when we close this downtown off and you gotta park somewhere and you're parking there so you can go down to the carnival or do whatever,
Right.
there's.
that's a good
That,
point.
that's what
But
I
then
mean.
You're
yeah.
like, we don't have any
And again,
handicap availability there
Nobody
anywhere.
might even use it. I'm just saying it just should have been thought through. And that's why I'm like, okay, so who? Going forward, what do we do? And that's what I'm like.
Right.
Yeah, I
Do we
mean,
really need it? Maybe not.
And
But-
in the meantime, remember, we did add 2 over here.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I mean,
At least we have something
are-
to say that, yes, we didn't do that here, but we do have.
right, there's 2 right
availability,
here.
everything. So. Okay, anyway, that was the other question, and then, so. Did you say that we're done with both the parking lot and the boat launch?
I'm not for sure if the boat launch checks finally went
Yeah,
up,
she was
but
working on it the other day. I don't know.
if that's final,
closed it
but
out or if She's,
as far as I know, it's
I mean, that,
pretty
So
much
there's
done.
nothing that's outstanding that we need to worry about as a council to say that
From-
they
from
didn't live
my
up to
point-
expectations.
no, from my point, no. As far as the grant stuff from Danell, that would be her question.
I mean, yeah, it's just whether, I'm pretty sure everything was completed and done.
I know she
think
said
they
she
are,
thought
but
she was working on the
we
final
were-
stuff.
we
I don't
were at the
think she
very
sent in.
End of that, getting snow and stuff, so whether the engineer, I mean, we did a walkthrough. But whether it's been completely finalized and she sent that last check out that C2 and said, yeah, go ahead, I don't know. I know what it's talking about, but I can't say yet.
And then my last complaint. Our streetlights. They're gonna be a complaint every month until you retire or quit. Want every streetlight in this town lit up.
I'm working on it.
I'm just saying, it's gonna be a complaint every month. So
It
just be
is a
prepared.
never ending battle.
Are we talking the ones that are going down the post ones or
We're talking all.
any of them?
Any of them.
Okay,
There's some downtown
And
at the
I-
gas station across from the gas.
The one at the
station,
gas
parking
station
lots
we're
here. I'm
at-
just like, I just want. the
We
damn
did
things-
4 of them the other day. I can tell you right now, these ones over here, I've got Thornburg coming in.
I know you're working on it. I'm just saying, it's gonna.
Well, I'm telling you, the
continue
post,
complaint
the post
while they're
office
out
ones, Thornburg just had knee surgery, so as soon as he can bend down. He's gonna come in and help us chase a wire, cause we're thinking when they board that crap, they hit our line.
Okay.
Cause it blew a fuse, you can go over there, kick the fuse, the light will kick on, and 10 seconds later, it blows off. So he said he's got a tester that we can hook
But
up and it'll
Frontier is
tell us
gonna
where, yeah, you
pay
bet.
for
You
everything.
bet,
Yeah.
you betcha. Don't you remember
Oh.
working with them before, Tim?
I've got a,
It took me
Really good number?
47 minutes on the phone the other day to talk to some lady in Indonesia to
verbal
get
parent,
for this box.
Yeah, 'cause it's-
And I had explained to her 3 times how to spell McClintock Street, and she wrote the request up and sent the guy to West Street. He called me, he said, I don't know where there's a box on West Street. I said, you shouldn't be on West Street.
if you need any working streetlights. I've got one right in front of the house up on the end of McClintock.
No, you want yours up.
Well, it's
Right.
been burned out for 15 years and that was
There.
fine with me.
It's right at the end, and I seen it was out, so I called it in, and Tim's yelled at me ever since.
I'm surprised we have one there.
It's not ours, it's one of the overhead,
Yeah.
I'm surprised, cause it's a dead end.
that's why it's there.
One Christmas, Henrietta came over our place and she noticed that it was burned out. I thought she was gonna narc us out.
So with that, we'll adjourn the meeting at 6:22.
Yeah.